Díomh agus fáilte, hello and welcome. It's Misha Amy, the crafty Kyluk, and today I'm going to be talking about Pancake Day, or Shrove Tuesday, as it's also known, but that's less fun. If you're new to my channel, fáilte, welcome. I am Amy and I am an Irish pagan witch who makes content about Irish history, folklore, food and magic. So, growing up in Ireland and growing up Catholic, Shrove Tuesday, the day before Ash Wednesday, was something we looked forward to every year. And even now that I'm not Catholic, and even for people who aren't Catholic all around Ireland, Pancake Day is something people look forward to every year. But not many people might know some of the folklore and stories around it, and the customs and traditions, and also the origins. So Pancake Day, Pancake Tuesday, or Shrove Tuesday would be a day where a lot of the fatty dairy and egg products would have been used up before the fasting period of Lent. Long ago, eggs would have been something specifically that would have been prohibited to be eaten during the Lenten period. So from Ash Wednesday up to Easter Sunday, you don't eat those. So what better way to make use of milk, eggs, and sugar than to make pancakes? I have a running private joke with one of my American friends that I recently told about Pancake Tuesday, that basically pancakes are only eaten in Ireland one day a year, and that's Pancake Day. Now, obviously this isn't true, but it was true growing up in Ireland in the 90s. And I actually cannot remember a single year that we had pancakes outside of having them on Pancake Tuesday. That is until in more recent years, I started going out for brunch and going to cafes who were serving pancakes as part of their menu. But certainly at home, we never made pancakes growing up, except for Pancake Tuesday. Traditionally, and from the information I've gathered from the Duchess.ie National Folklore collection that we have in Ireland, the pancakes and the Feast of Pancakes and other feasting would have happened traditionally in the evening. However, growing up in the 90s in Ireland, we would absolutely have them from morning to evening. Pancakes for breakfast, lunch and dinner. We would come into primary school and have competitions about who had eaten the most pancakes that morning. Pancake Day is kind of a big deal. All of our supermarkets have very much gotten on board in the last number of years where there's Pancake Day special deals, and for the few weeks running up to Shrove Tuesday, there will be deals and pancake mix and everything like that really kind of promoted. And also the types of pancakes that we tend to make over here aren't your typical stack of small thick pancakes that you'd see maybe in the United States. They're a little bit more like a French crepe in that they're much bigger surface wise. They're very thin and you tend to roll them up to eat them. But they're also not exactly like French crepes either. They're just more like that than they would be American pancakes or American style pancakes. So if you saw my video on Ihe Nullag Naman or Little Christmas, you may have already heard me talk about the keeping of the greenery at Christmas or at the solstice period at the end of the year to burn in the fire on Shrove Tuesday, which the pancakes are cooked over. So this was a tradition that was done, particularly when people were cooking over their hearths as well as using it to heat the house. An account in Lucan in County Dublin on Duchess.ie gives this tradition and also talks about the method of making the pancake. So the flour, milk and lard and sugar and bread soda would be mixed together to form a batter. The batter would then be poured on a pan that's over the fire, and when it's half cooked would be flipped by the maker to cook both sides. Then in this particular account, the woman of the house peels and squeezes a lemon and puts some sugar on it before it's eaten. It also says that pancakes are usually eaten in the evening time. So the lemon and sugar topping on the Pancake Day pancakes is something that is done all over the country. This was well before the time of chocolate syrups and sauces and marshmallows and all the rest of it. We never had like maple syrup or anything growing up. The National Folklore collection accounts that we have are from the 1930s or the late 1930s. So even in these collections, we have reference to older and much older traditions. So one account from County Waterford, from Kilmeaden specifically, states that in older times, the pancakes would have been made with cream and they would have been called cream cakes. So they would have been made with cream, flour, sugar and salt, and made in the same way and fried over a griddle pan. And these apparently tasted sweeter, even sweeter than the pancakes that we would have today. This account also talks about the Shrove Tuesday late supper. So pancakes would have been eaten, but also a dinner of potatoes, cabbage and bacon would have been eaten to help people get through the fast on Ash Wednesday. And also that butter, egg, milk or bread would not be eaten until after Easter. But Shrove Tuesday wasn't just about preparing for fasting. There was also a lot of marriage customs that were associated with Shrove Tuesday. If you want to know more about marriage customs, I also did a video on Irish marriage customs last year, which you can check out up here. An account from County Longford talks about most marriages in that district taking place on or before Shrove Tuesday. And another account talks about the fact that if people didn't get married by Shrove Tuesday, they would have to wait the 7 weeks until after Easter. There's no specific account that I have found that talks about the specific reasons for not getting married during Lent, but I would imagine that it had something to do with the fact that weddings and wedding parties had a lot of associations with feasting and merriment and drinking, and all of that stuff would not be allowed during Lent, so that's probably why. So essentially from Christmas, or sometimes depending on the district, from Little Christmas, the 6th of January, up to Shrove Tuesday, a lot of marriages would be taking place, and if you didn't get married in that time, you would have to wait until after Easter. So a couple of customs that I found regarding marriage and Shrove Tuesday include a type of divination that is similar to the divination done with the barn brack or the boreen brack. Again, I've done another video on boreen brack if you want to know more about that. But similar to boreen brack, a ring or nuts would be put into the pancakes as they were cooked, and then whoever got the ring was going to be the first person to get married, and whoever got the nuts was supposed to be an old maid. This particular account from County Westmeath from Josephine talks about a custom that used to happen where young boys would tie bags of ash to women who were not married. And another custom given by Josephine also talks about any boy or girl that had not gotten married by Shrove Tuesday or by the start of Lent would be chained and put on a slide and dragged around the town. There just seems to be a lot of ridicule of people not getting married for no major good reason. There was another account that I've actually been unable to find, but I was talking to a colleague of mine in college about it, and he had found an account on Dukas where a man was getting ridiculed by neighbours for not getting married. He was kind of a slightly older bachelor, so they were giving him a hard time about not getting married. So he got a broom, like a floor sweeping broom, and dressed it up in a dress and stuffed it full of straw. Not unlike, I would imagine, a bridge oak that would have been made for St. Bridget. But he dressed up this broom anyway, and he stuck it outside his house, called it a cailleach, which is the Irish word for hag or witch or crone. There's actually a lot of meanings for the word cailleach, so I'll probably do a video on that soon. But anyway, he dressed up this broom, stuck it outside his house, went, "That's my wife," and basically told everyone to sod off and leave him alone. So those are just some of the customs and some of the traditions and folklore I wanted to share for Shrove Tuesday or Pancake Day. There are over 3,600 results for Shrove Tuesday on dukius.ie, so I'm going to leave a link in the description for the ones I've talked about in this video, and also a general link if you'd like to explore more and find out more about Shrove Tuesday or Pancake Day. Do let me know in the comments what you're putting on your pancakes. What's your preferred topping? Personally, I like to have a little bit of a mix, so I'll maybe put chocolate on one, I like a bit of maple syrup, and then I'll have a traditional classic lemon and sugar just for a bit of nostalgia. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It'll help boost the video and boost the channel. If you haven't subscribed already, do think about hitting subscribe and hitting the bell for notifications so you know when more content is coming out. We're heading into March in 2022, and it is my birthday month, so I will have lots of fun content coming out this month. And also the channel will be 1 year old at the start of April, so I'll have lots of content coming out over the next few weeks. Gurv Mila Magwat Asjacht, thank you very much for coming, and Slán go fóill, I will see you soon.